Dallas Miller of Avon tells Susan West about his decision to go into the Coast Guard and about long hauling with his father and brother in the 1980s.
When I graduated high school in 1962, you kind of had two choices. You stayed home and fished, or you went in the Coast Guard. My grandfather was retired Coast Guard. My father was retired Coast Guard. I had three or four uncles, and their children were in or retired. And my brother was retired. I was in charge of recruiting at one time, and I enlisted my nephew.
Okay.
So he was the fourth generation of the Coast Guard.
Wow. Isn't that
now,
something?
really back then, it was only, we couldn't afford to go to college. You know, you stayed home and you commercial fished or went in the Coast Guard. But I can remember when I was in high school in the late 50s, early 60s, I used to go with my dad in the summer. And I can remember more times than not that, you know, you just didn't have that many fish. There wasn't no boatloads of fish. You know, I guess they scraped a living out of it.
Well, when you caught fish, were there fish houses here in Avon?
Yeah, right down where the harbor is. Right down from where Tillman's is now is George Gray's fish house.
Right.
Right there.
Okay.
And that's where we sold.
Do you know where that fish went to?
Now, let me take it back. There was another fish house there. Tillman moved in at that time. George sold to, I think it was Globe Fish Company. Now, I can't remember, It was Globe out of Hampton, I think, but I'm not sure. Now, Tillman, when he first moved there, it seemed like to me that he sold to Billy out of Elizabeth City.
Tell me a little bit about the fishing that you did in the Sound. What type of nets did you use?
We had a long haul net. It was one net probably about 2,000 yards long. You used two boats, one on each end of the net, and you pulled it for, well, depending on what set you were in. You know, some sets you pull longer. You pulled it for, say, an hour or 2 hours.
Okay.
You came together in a big circle, and then you had a third boat, but it was our net skiff, and that was for nothing, just putting the net in.
Okay.
So when you came together in this big circle, three guys got on the net skiff and one got on the run boat, and they called it ring hauling.
Ring hauling?
Ring hauling, and that's when it was actually a circle, so it was a ring, and the one boat would tow that net skiff around. As it towed it, you brought the net in until you come to the bunt. Bunt was a deep part of the net, and you would purse it, and what that was doing was pulling the bottom together so the fish couldn't get out. And you put one side of the net on one boat, one was on the net skiff, and you took dip nets and just bailed them into your boat.